Hi, I'm Leanne Ely. I'm a nutritionist, a New York Times best-selling author, and some people even say I'm a life coach. I started the Daily Dish Show to share my story, my truth, and my journey to vibrancy, and to inspire others to do the same. Because it's all about grit, perseverance, and finding a way despite the odds. It's about embracing the whole woman, not just the parts that are easy to love, and feeding her heart, mind, body, and soul. But I found that this isn't just my story, it's your story too. It's go time. This is the Daily Dish. Well, hello. It is Tuesday. And you know what Tuesday means? Tuesday means that it is Transformational Tip Tuesday. I'm so glad you're here. Say hello if you're here and give me some pinkies up, whatever turns your key. Sandy's in the house, our Patsy, Jocelyn, and Doris all here. So good to have you here. You know, it's interesting, as we pursue our goals, different things start to come to, have you noticed this, that there's layers of things when you're trying to pursue a goal? Different things show up, different things come to mind, and new challenges always await. Isn't that the truth? Hey there, Julie. Gosh, it's good to have you here. Catherine, you too. So I'm reading this book. It's called The Little Black Book of Workout Motivation by Michael Matthews. He also wrote a book called Thinner, Leaner, Stronger. It's about bodybuilding for women, which is tough. Jackie, hello. So I've been reading these books kind of in tandem, and we're doing some of the workouts that are in this book. And that is kind of the genesis, if you will, for today's show. And I'm excited to share it with you because I've noticed how things change sometimes, how things get different, and how we are necessarily needing to evolve to go to that next level. I'll share everything that I'm talking about. I've got it all here in today's show. Alice, you're here. So's Deborah and Debbie and Martha and Helen. It is regular romper room here. It is. I see all my girls. You know how happy that makes me. Anyway, the gratitude journals, all available. Have you ordered yours yet? This is how we create a habit of gratitude. Here it is. This is the cover of what it looks like. It's beautiful. In it is it's all laid out weekly and monthly, and it builds on one another so that you become a woman of gratitude, and it just becomes natural. There's two bookmarks that come with it. One is for the weekly and one is for the monthly, and they're of course just as beautiful as this. And I'm excited to share all of this with you. These are tools that will work to your advantage, big time. Hi, Nancy, Mother Hen's in the house. So if you haven't ordered it yet, ask Nancy. She ordered one for all of her granddaughters. I think it's a great idea. And what a way to train in some good stuff, that this is something that we don't do often enough. Isn't it true? All right. So the other thing that you need to know is, what about that quote of the week? Has that one rocked your world yet? Here it is. Stop making decisions for the person you are right now and start making decisions for the person you're becoming, and get there faster. We don't fake it till we make it. We be it until we see it. We show up as that person. Even if we're not quite there yet, we don't have to wait for perfection to walk into the room ahead of us. We simply grasp this idea that if I'm an athlete, then I'm going to train like an athlete at the table and in the gym and on the court, or whatever it is that we do, right? Interesting. And, this is all part of my goal thing with my playing. I am a devotee of pickleball, and all the things that I'm learning on that court is more than just how to hit the ball correctly. It goes deep and it goes into an incredible mindset. And, it's helping me up my game and other stuff. It really is. And that's one of the things that we're going to be talking about today. What about the skincare? Last week, we had all of that beauty balm that you were using, the body balm. Oh my gosh, that stuff flew. And now the deep moisture cream is flying. Do you see that? Goodness gracious, I'm trying to get it. There it is. The deep moisture cream, full bloom deep moisture cream. If you buy one, you're going to get one free. Isn't that great? It's a screaming deal. All you have to do is go to savingdinner.com/BOGO and go get yours. I hope you take advantage of this because we really we've got some skincare that we'd love to move, and we're passing on the deal to you. So take advantage of this while it's still here. savingdinner.com/BOGO. Speaking of deals, if you buy more than $300 worth of products in our store, if it's easy to do, if you decide to stock up and take advantage of our bulk buys, you're going to get free shipping as long as you live in the lower 48. Pretty cool, right? We decided to do this because of so many of you who are such loyal customers of ours, so appreciated. You buy your supplements from us, small woman-owned business, small women. You know, we are the little women who do all the work here. I'm talking about the dream team, of course. We all appreciate it so very much. Thank you for supporting this business of ours. And another thing that I want you to know as well is that coming up, you know what's coming up? We are having a virtual full bloom. More than enough is what it's called. More than enough. We did a few years ago, we did a whole day on I am enough and what it means to be enough. But there's a difference between being enough and being more than enough. And it's having a different eye to see. I don't want you to see yourself as just barely having enough. I want you to see yourself as being overflowing and having more than enough. And I will tell you, I am so excited about the content and everything else that we have. You can go to savingdinner.com/bloom for all the details. Very excited about this. Hi, Jocelyn. I'm glad you're here. I am. There's our Jane too, by the way. Jane's in the house, so is Jeanette. I got my crushing workbook today. Yes, Nancy, I'm so glad. You're going to love it. Hello, Miriam. I'm glad you're here. Your first time on? Well, guess what? You found your community, sister. I'll tell you, we have an amazing sisterhood here. We would love to love on you, Miriam. Thank you. That was my mother's name, by the way. And you know how I felt about my mom, y'all. All right. So butterflies here too. I mean, we've got a nice full house. Hi. We've got a nice full house. So I've told you about everything that we have available to you, all kinds of resources. Our biggest goal here is to support you heart, mind, body, and soul. And we want to make sure that you have what it is that you need. We want to pass along any deals that we get, we pass them on to you. That's why we have these specials. And by the way, I'm just a sneak preview. This is happening. It's called Crave Water. All I can say is watch for it. I'm so excited. Hey, Margot. I'm glad you're here. All right. Should we get down to the meat of the matter? Because today we're going to talk a little bit about goals. And I love talking about goals anyway, but I'm going to talk about a different perspective of goals because this one knocked me upside the head in my quiet time this morning. So, you know, I like to meditate, then I like to read and journal. And the book that I'm reading, of course, I showed it to you, is this little black book of workout motivation because I am trying to up my game on my athletic pursuits, right? I have some big goals there. And I will share those to you when we do the next goal workshop. Right now, I'm just kind of keeping them to myself as I mull them over and work on them. But here's the quote that knocked me over. See what you think about this one. And this is from Michael Matthews, who wrote this. He's a personal trainer and really good writer. Many people think that finding answers to the right questions is the secret to setting and achieving goals. They're wrong. That's the easy part. The secret is facing the answers. How much pain am I willing to take? What am I willing to sacrifice? How far am I willing to go? We don't like those answers, do we? We don't. Nobody wants to know that it's going to take sacrifice, that it's going to take pain, and that there's going to be times of uncomfortableness, do we? We all think it's just like if we set this goal, then that goal is magically going to have this magnetic pull and bring us in and help us to get things done. Help us to do the stuff that needs to get done. And it's not true, is it? Hey Sue, I'm glad you're here. It's not true because the intriguing truth about this whole thing is the emphasis to me on what am I willing to put out in order to pursue this goal? What am I willing to bring to the table, to sacrifice, to leave behind all the hard stuff? What is it that I'm willing to do? That's a really good question because the process of asking questions and seeking answers is vital. The real challenge is in the secret, and that's facing the answers because the answers are going to always whack us upside the head. That's how I look at it. Of course they are. So let's understand, first of all, number one, what is the value in understanding and facing the answers? Well, it's an introspective journey. It means you have to travel inward and really look at why do I want this? This is why I emphasize so much and say, get your why down. Do the why matrix. And the why matrix is super easy. All it is you with a pencil, your journal, and you just sit there and you write, why do I want this? Why is this important? What is it about it that makes it so that I want to have this with all of my heart, mind, body, and soul? What is it? And you'll know that you've landed the minute you get on something that makes you emotionally go, oh, yes, that's the thing. Do you know what I'm talking about? Has anybody experienced this themselves where you're just like, I want this more than anything. I'm willing to do the things. I'm willing to put out and to put up with and to sacrifice for this particular thing. So, if you were an aspiring athlete, for example, you might say, what will it take for me to reach a professional level? That's a good question. And the answer might be, well, this is the kind of diet you're going to have to cut out alcohol. You're going to have to get to bed earlier. You're going to have to train this way. You're going to have to do all of that. Are you willing to do it? Are you? That's where the rubber meets the road. Is not in the answer, but in in facing that answer. Because every morning at 5 a.m., if you're like a swimmer or something like that, that's going to come early every single day. And every single day, it's a matter of showing up. Are you willing to do that? Now, that's an extreme example, but we could do this with the Hot Milk 30, Are you willing to get up and as your coffee's brewing or whatever, do your 4-minute workout? Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to set up a hydration station? Yeah? Give up alcohol for the month of June. Are you willing to do the extra that is required and stay the commitment that you signed? Stay with the commitment that you signed. Are you? Because that's facing the answer to the truth of what it is that you're seeking. That's exactly what it is. Hey, Chris, I'm glad you're here. So facing that answer means you're acknowledging the effort, you're acknowledging the time and the discipline required because it requires that. I don't want to soft pedal or soft sell anything and just say, it's so easy. It is not. It is not. I have, let's see, where am I? I'm just thinking about what my weight is. But, where I am right now, I weigh 160 pounds. I weigh 160 pounds. I used to weigh 240, but 240 is a whole lot different than 160, isn't it? To get from there to where I am now, it took work. It took staying the course. It took me saying no to a whole bunch of stuff and saying yes to some stuff that I just plain didn't want to do, but I did it anyway. Yeah. Discipline, exactly, Nancy. Can I just say that discipline is a dirty word around here? People want the hack. They want the easy way and they want the the way to get out. And it's just not so. I'm 5'8", almost 5'8", Jeanette. She's weighing and measuring. I'm also, by the way, my body fat is low. It's only like 22%. I'm very muscular. So I say that because I wear a size 8, 6 pants. So that is different. So a woman my size, 160 pounds at that my height, could also be, if she didn't have muscle on her, she could also be fatter. And I don't mean that in a derogatory sense. I mean in fat, in the fact of having, I have more lean muscle than I do fat. I've been very careful about that. My goal is to get to 150. 150 is my absolute perfect weight for me. It feels really good, very comfortable. It's just taken me a while. I was down there in 2015. I weighed 150 pounds. It was a journey to get there, and then met Mark, fell in love, and got fat and happy. But now I'm just like, I'm very, very disciplined on what it is, and I'm allowing my body to change and to do the things that it wants to do. So that's where I am. There's a pain threshold there. There is pain. Hello, there's pain. I'm going to tell you about the pain. Sometimes there is pain. You're around that weight too, 5'5", and not a size 8. It's probably the difference is in our athleticism. I'm just going to say, because I lift weights 3 times a week and play pickleball almost daily. So I played today, and there was a lot of sweat involved. So I told you this, when I wear my watch, or I don't wear the Apple Watch much anymore. It doesn't work much, but sometimes I have like the tights that, those runner's tights where you can stick your phone in there. And I used to do my steps. My steps were like 7,000, 8,000 just for playing pickleball. Of course. I mean, it's 2 hours of just very rigorous. And Patsy, I'm going slow and steady too. And I'm pleased with that. I'm very pleased with that. It's easy. I know what I need to do and what have you, but I will tell you, for women, and if you did the ultimate sprint with us, you gotta put on the muscle. You'll never look like Arnold Schwarzenegger ever, 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 but muscle takes up less room than fat does. Fat and muscle, of course, weigh the same, of course they do. Always 5 pounds of muscle and 5 pounds of fat weigh the same, but it's just the volume. That's how it works. Yes. So, yeah, as Mark would say, honey, you're solid. I am. And I have hips and a butt and thighs. I've always had that. That's not going to go anywhere away. And I will continue to work on my body, because my body is my transportation. The better my body feels, the better I feel. The better I feel, the better I'm able to serve you. I'm able to serve my family. I'm able to serve my community here. I'm able to be the woman I need to be. You can't do it when you're crapping out on your body, when your body's crapping out on you. You know exactly what that is. And we have to accept the challenge of the pain. The pain comes. It's not fun. There are times I don't want to. There's a lot of times I'm going, oh, it's leg day. I really don't like leg day. It's leg day today. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it because that's part of the whole thing. And I know that I'm not going to enjoy it. That's okay. But it's what I've committed to do. And it's part of my commitment contract to you and to myself. And I'm going to keep that. And what happens though is, there's struggle there, and there's discomfort, and the draw of the couch and the draw of the comfort zone is a siren's call. It's like, oh, you don't have to do it. You've been so good this week. Just let it go. But it's like, if you're starting a business, and Patsy, you have a business. I have one. I've had one for 23 years now, but starting it, I remember just how nervous I was. And I would calculate all the time what I would needed to do in order to drop some of my, because I was a freelance writer, some of my freelance writing gigs, so I could get right into this. But, that's how it is. And number three on this whole thing is we look and as we examine here what facing the answers means is that we have to weigh the costs. There's cost involved, isn't there? Because goals demand sacrifices. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. It means that you have to dedicate time to it. You have to dedicate resources. You have to dedicate your personal comfort to it. Yeah? This is where it just goes whoop, whoop, and things change. So if you think about a student, who might want to get a scholarship or is trying to get into, the next level of school, they might have to forego some social stuff. They might not go to the frat party and be drinking all the time so that they can get to that next level, right? This is how it is. You have to be willing to accept them and you have to be willing to make them. Not just accept, but make them. And number 4 is going the distance, right? Because it's determination. It becomes a determination thing. This is how we get to the persistence place and the consistency place. And this is how we persevere, and this is how we get through 100%. Hi, Diane. We have to relentlessly pursue what it is that we want. Relentlessly. We have it in us. We have the drive to do this. We have the grit, not the quit, if we tap it. If we say this is what we want to do. You remember how, think about Thomas Edison. There was a race, by the way, to see who would get the electricity going first. And Thomas Edison did it before he got the electric light bulb. And Thomas Edison did it. How did he do it? How did he do it? He stayed with it. And when everybody told him to quit, it was ridiculous and blah, blah, blah. He knew that he was just one step away, one step closer to doing this. He figured out one other way not to make the light bulb work. Remember, that's one of his famous quotes. And then our beloved Diana Naya. Let's take a look at her. I did a little research on this. Get this. It took her 4 times before she finally did cross the Atlantic from Cuba to Miami. That's 110 miles, okay? She did it, the first time she did it was 1978. She was a young woman. And then she would fail 3 more times after that. So she never did it the first time. It was a failure. Second time, same thing. Third time, same thing. Fourth time, same thing. The 5th time, when she was 64, when it was what was it? She was 64 and it was 2015. That's right. 2015. Think about that. A 64-year-old woman and without a shark cage doing this amazingly horrific, tough swim, being stung by jellyfish. She gets to shore. What does she say? You find a way. And that is one distinct wraparound package of what this is, of going the distance, of being relentless, of being in hot pursuit of what your goal is. We've seen Tanya in front of our eyes do the very same thing. Stay the course. Perfectly? No. But excellently? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So I think the interesting part that we all skip is the process of setting and achieving goals goes beyond asking the right questions and finding the answers. It goes into the willingness of what you're willing to do in order to get there, right? We don't have to ask all the how questions just right. Hi, Anne, I just saw you. Good to have you here. We have to courageously face those answers. We have to. Because, easy to really talk about athletic pursuits. Super easy, right? But these athletic pursuits, you can measure that. You know what that's going to take. And right now, I am a 3.5 pickleball player. After 1 year, that's pretty darn good. I'm happy about that. But next year at this time, I want to be a 4.0. What's it going to take? I need to be faster on my feet. So I'm doing drills up and down the court, up and down the court. I look kind of goofy. I don't care. That's going to train my body into muscle memory so that I can do that kind of thing. I work out with several girls and we do dinks and drills and all kinds of stuff. Worked on lobs the other day. We do these things in pursuit of the next level, And I work out with weights and what have you so I can be stronger, so my core is stronger, so I'm quicker, I'm faster. And, it just gives me such joy at 65 years old to be able to say, this is what I'm pursuing, this level of athleticism. It isn't shut down for me just because I'm literally a senior citizen now. So what? Does that mean we shut it all down? Or do we pursue with all of our hearts, minds, body, and soul? Because that's the secret right there. The secret is in facing the answers of what it's going to take. And then seeing, do you have the muster to do this? Do you? Hello, Marie, and welcome. It's her birthday. It's her first time here, and it's her birthday. Well, that is just a terrific thing. Cheers. Here's to you. I'm glad you're here. We all need to have this with whatever it is that we're pursuing, this unwavering commitment to that thing. We give ourselves so many passes, don't we? And we just, oh my goodness, I guess life got in the way. That's one that drives me nuts. When don't ever say that. Please don't ever say that. Life's always going to get in the way, by the way. I don't know if you've noticed, but life has a tendency to not let us do plan A all the time. Plan A is ideal, isn't it? Everything works out. The dog doesn't throw up. Your kid doesn't need to be picked up at school early. You don't get stuck in traffic. Everything works beautifully. You don't burn the pot roast. But it's not like that. It's bumpy. There's obstacles. There's things that get in the way. And I will tell you something. This is the thing that I know with all of my heart, that when we have this unwavering commitment to either option A, B, or C, and when we make a decision that the secret to getting to the place of actually achieving these goals is to face the answers of what it's going to take, then we're in. It doesn't mean the difficulty goes away. It doesn't mean the uncomfortableness of doing this is going to make it any easier. It just means we're unwavering. It means our commitment is strong. It means that we have given ourselves our word and we've stayed with it. Because breaking your promise to yourself is worse than breaking your promise to anyone. It makes you feel like garbage. Thank you, Jane, for that. We need to do all the things. We need to commit all the way. Because all the way is so much easier than 90% or even 95%. When we have wiggle room, we'll wiggle right out of it. That's just human nature. Tomorrow's better. It's always better. Well, tomorrow's always better, isn't it? But right now, today, when the time is that you block that out for you to do it, don't lose your way. Stay with it. Stay with your commitment. Stay with yourself. The promise you make to yourself is just as important as every other promise you've ever made to anyone else ever. And I will tell you that when you start to see yourself keeping your promises, your life will come to a place of excellence, an unbelievable place of excellence. You'll see yourself in a different light. You'll see yourself with so much strength. You'll see the grit in yourself, and you'll never quit, because that is the way it needs to be. Right on. Am I right? So I hope you like that. And by the way, this book is on Amazon. And if you want somebody to whack it right upside your head, this little black book of workout motivation, really good. This is my second time through it. I just love this book. So thank you so much for joining me today. You know what tomorrow is, right? It's Wise Women's Wednesday. Are you going to be here? 1 p.m. Eastern all the time. Ray and we have a couple of other new people here, which is fabulous. Thanks for showing up. I hope to see you tomorrow. And I appreciate you all so very much. If you missed any of the announcements, it's at savingdinner.com/announcements. Peace be with you. Bye-bye. Thank you for joining me today. You can find me on TikTok for daily tips to help support your most vibrant life. And remember, you are the author of your own story. Until next time.